respect women that do these three things. And I know you all have heard these before, but you haven't heard my reasons, y'all. Gotta check it out. Number one, know your worth. Know your worth, baby. See, coming into a relationship, a man knows your worth. But what's most important is him knowing you know your worth. When a man knows you know your worth, he has no other choice but to respect you, because he knows if he doesn't do right, he can become an option. Because there are other men out there that see your worth. Y'all ever notice when a man is not doing right by you and you're going out? Y'all ever notice how concerned he becomes? He wants to know, where you going? Who you going with? Do I know these people? You know the reason why? Because he's scared. He's scared that today or tonight could be the day or night the right man approaches you and he becomes obsolete or an option, because he knows you know your worth. Number two, be yourself. Be yourself, baby. I know that there's a lot of gurus and people out here saying this stuff about you got to do extra stuff to keep your man. You got to stroke his ego and all. No. This is the truth, y'all. When that man approached you, when that man started dating you, weren't you just being yourself? Why you got to do all this extra stuff? You know, most of the women I talk to, when we get down to the core of it, that's the women that feel this way. When we get down to the core of it, y'all, you know what we find? A lot of them have lost their confidence. Their confidence in themselves and their confidence that they are enough for the relationship. So then they start doing all this extra stuff. And that's when they get used. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do extra stuff for your man. What I'm saying is this: you shouldn't do extra stuff to keep him. See, when a man realizes that you are doing extra stuff to keep him and he's not the right man, he starts to look at you as an employee. And now you're working for him, so he's going to wear you out. But if he's the right man, and I could speak from experience, if he's the right man, he's going to be like, whoa, baby, slow down. Are you doing my job now? Remember, you are the lady and I am the man, the gentle man. Number three, we're going to save number three for tomorrow, y'all, because this is a long one, but it's good. Part two, men only respect women that do these three things. Number three, don't be afraid to walk away. Don't be afraid, baby. Because if you're with the wrong man and he realizes that you are afraid to walk away for him, you just open up the door for disrespect. Because he knows you're not going nowhere. You're going to be right here. Where you going? Nah, you're not going nowhere. I will cheat on you and you will still be here. And there are men that are actually doing this right now and they're saying it. And I can tell you this for a fact because I am talking to women right now that are going through this, y'all. But there's a way around this, y'all. And the way is this: you have to create standards. But more importantly, you have to hold to these standards. Because if you don't, he's going to drag you through the mud. Fill your eyes with tears. You're not going to be broken. but he's going to break your heart over and over and over again. But for the woman that has standards, this scenario plays out totally different. What happens is this. She goes, hold up now. Wait a minute. Nah. Look, you got the right woman, but the wrong attitude. So this is what's going to happen. You're going to pack your little suitcase, that little Georgie bundle, whatever that is, and you're going to use the front door, the back door, side doors, whatever, I don't care. But you are going to leave. Most of the women I talk to that are not doing this, y'all, what happens is they get deeper in the relationship and they become dependent on these men for emotional support. Some financial, but it's just mostly emotional support. It just hurts, y'all. You know, I just want to say this in ending. If I don't like me, if I don't love me, respect me at my worst, why am I going to love and respect you if you accept me at my worst?
Some women are a blessing and others are a curse. You need to know the difference. You see, a woman is supposed to give you peace, and if pleasure comes with that, then that's a bonus. But if you're someone who hasn't made it yet in life, then you need a loyal woman whose demands aren't going to kill you on the way up. Because a good woman is a lifelong investment, and an immature woman is a lifelong bill.
3 ways to make your man respect you, or make, the man that you're dealing with in general have a healthy level of respect for you as a woman, right? So when we think about respect, it's very important for us to also consider the word self-respect, because when you have self-respect for yourself, then it projects out onto the reality. And if whoever, whatever person you're interacting with, they're a part of your reality, then it makes sense that they are more likely to respect you if you have a high level of respect for yourself, especially if you're a woman who wants to embrace being in your feminine energy even more and relate to a healthy masculine man on a healthy dynamic. This is very important. So the first thing we're going to start with, right, is you must operate with standards for yourself. You must work on being the best you, having the best possible life that you can have, and having the best possible experiences. Why? Because you're worth that. So you must tell yourself that over and over and over again. This is one of the reasons why, women kind of know this on some level, because they always speak about, hey, I must know my worth. I must know my worth. That is definitely true. But once you know your worth, you must hold yourself to that standard. But that starts with operating with standards yourself. So if you treat yourself in the way that is according to a high standard, it's only natural that it's going to project out onto the person that you're dealing with. So work on being the best version of yourself. And this is going to require a certain level of accountability, because you're going to have to be aware and address certain things that you're not good at or you're not the best at yet. But you have a high level of self-belief and say, even though I'm not good at this thing, even though in this area I can improve, I believe I am worth that. And just having that mindset off the bat is going to make a very big difference. So operate with standards yourself. Then, when you operate with standards, the people you relate to have to, on some level, communicate or show you that they can reach that standard. Maybe things won't be perfect in the beginning, but naturally, it's going to be like, look, if you deal with me, there's this certain standard that I want to reach. Do you have the intentions to try and meet this? Yes or no? If not, maybe you're not the type of person that's for me, and that's okay. No hard feelings. I just got to move on so that I maintain these high standards for myself. You do it with love, not bitterness, not frustration, just inspiration for the love that you want to have for yourself. So then that leads on to the next point, number 2, right? is you want to work on being the type of person, the type of woman who is not afraid to communicate with authenticity. Because when you operate with high standards yourself, it's kind of like just an internal thing. But in order to project it onto the reality, now it needs to become an external thing. And the way you do that is practicing with your throat, with your mouth. Literally communicating what is in here and in here, you're communicating it out. And it's going to be no.
A high value woman is a high character woman. Because those are the ones that the men marry. They ain't gonna marry. They marry the high character woman that empowers you, that pushes you to be better, that pushes you to be more, that says, I got a standard for myself. And I'm not talking about based on $30 meals. I'm talking about you can't talk to me a certain way. You can't treat me a certain way. You can't buy me. Now,
all right, y'all, the type of woman every man wants to marry. Let's get into it. Number 1, beautiful. Number 2, respectful. Number 3, faithful. Number 4, hardworking. Contributes to her household. An asset. Number 5, humble. Number 6, generous. Number 7, classy. Number 8, ensures her entire household is taken care of. Number 9, honorable. 10, wise. 11, kind. 12, a great mother. 13, praiseworthy. 14, an achiever. You guessed it. Proverbs 31 woman.
What do you think men should be looking at as what a high-value woman is?
I think what they classify as a high-value woman is actually truly a narcissistic woman. And what they should be looking at is a woman who has intrinsic rather than extrinsic values. Wow. And what I mean by that is when you select a woman who enjoys explosive kind of attention from men, you're selecting a woman who will never be satisfied with you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
And you're selecting a woman who relies on external validation for self-esteem. And that will never go in that woman. What you really should be looking at is a woman who has intrinsic values. Now, these are things like how connected I am to my friends and family. How much do I serve my community? How much can I look after you and your well-being? How much self-esteem do I derive from having a purpose and loving those around me? Unfortunately, they look at what is packaged the best way. And that woman is, unfortunately, she's unattainable because she's emotionally broken. To require that much validation can't be healthy. And
She's not a woman who needs a man. She is a woman a man